The mummification process in ancient Egypt was a sacred and complex ritual that took about 70 days to complete. It involved removing the organs from the body, drying the flesh with natron, wrapping the body in linen, and applying various resins and amulets. The goal was to preserve the body as closely as possible to its living form so that the Ka, or soul, could recognize and reunite with it in the afterlife. Only royalty and wealthy individuals could afford the elaborate mummification process. The average Egyptian was simply buried in the desert where the dry conditions would naturally preserve the body. However, pharaohs and wealthy individuals had the resources to hire skilled embalmers and provide their bodies with elaborate burial goods. The Egyptians believed that the mummification process was essential for the afterlife, as they believed that the Ka needed a physical form to inhabit in the afterlife, and that the preserved body was the only way to guarantee that the Ka would recognize and reunite with its host. This belief was so strong that the Egyptians would go to great lengths to preserve the bodies of their loved ones, even if they could not afford the elaborate mummification process. The Egyptians developed a sophisticated knowledge of anatomy during the mummification process, as the process of removing the organs from the body required a detailed understanding of human anatomy. They also developed techniques for preserving the brain and other delicate tissues. In addition to natron, linen, and resins, the Egyptians also used spices, herbs, and amulets to preserve the body and ward off evil spirits. They also placed models of food and drink in the tomb to ensure that the deceased would have sustenance in the afterlife. Mummification was not just a physical process, it was also a spiritual one. The Egyptians performed a variety of rituals and prayers throughout the mummification process, believing that these would help to ensure the well-being of the deceased in the afterlife.